Test 1, 2. Getting ready to go live.
Hey, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Josh McDonald alongside Simon Miller. We're here at Andrews Gymnasium, where the Kellogg Wildcat boys are hosting the Bonners Ferry Badgers in an Intermountain League contest here. And real quick, we're going to run through the starting lineups. I'm looking down at two former Wildcat players who are being kind of hooligans, Tyler Gibbons and Chase Jerome. They want to come up and give us a halftime interview, so that should be a lot of fun.
I second that. I second that motion.
It should be a good time. But starting tonight for the visiting Badgers, it's going to be senior post Seth Bateman, senior guard Dylan Hiddle, senior forward Chris Durrett, senior forward Caleb Peterson, and junior forward Matt Morgan. And starting tonight for the Wildcats, it's going to be senior post Raiden Ricketts, senior guard Brennan Atkins, junior post Tyler Ortley, junior guard Graydon Nearing, and junior center Gavin Luna. Wildcats electing to go with a big lineup here early, so it should be interesting to see what the Wildcats do if they try to impose their size early. In their first meeting, I believe the final score was somewhere in the range of 56 to 45, I thought. I might need to fact check that, but they didn't have senior Brennan Atkins, and the Wildcats got stomped on. So the Wildcats looking for a little redemption after their big win the other night against the Wallace Miners. They string 2 wins together, and we might be able to say the Wildcats are on a roll.
Yeah, let's see if they can capitalize on that momentum. That was a great game they played against Wallace. I really enjoyed that that performance, and offensively they came alive a little bit.
Wildcats lose the tip here. They're working the ball around. Wildcats flying around kind of in this matchup zone defense. Bonner's going to try a 3 real quick out of the gate. It's going to be tipped out of bounds off Raiden Ricketts' hands. And that was Dylan Hiddle on the 3-point attempt. Inbounds pass, kind of a set-up play to Matt Morgan. Morgan's going to dump it off to Peterson. Peterson goes inside to Bateman. Back outside to Durrett. Durrett's pass to Morgan's going to go off his fingers.
Josh, that's not the first time we've heard Matt Morgan mentioned in Andrews Gymnasium.
No, and
that's a nice flashback.
Yeah, a lot of rich history with the Morgan family here, both as Badgers and as Wildcats. Wildcats breaks the Bonners Ferry half-court press. Tyler Ortley with the ball finds Ricketts. Wildcats taking their time. Ricketts going to dribble in. Ooh, I think he got away with the travel.
Got away with one a little bit there, yep.
But Ortley will get the ball, go hard on the baseline. He's not going to get away with it, though. They're going to call the travel there, I think. Oh, no, they're going to call the foul. I was going off Brennan Atkins' reaction there, and I thought that they would have called him for travel, but Ortley's going to go up, draw the contact.
That was a good, strong move to the basket. Very decisive.
And that's going to be first foul on Bateman. That's a big foul right there. Front of the rim, free throw, no good for Ortley there. Wildcats or Badgers coming the other way. Brennan Atkins tying up Durrett. Durrett finally is able to pass out of it. All the Wildcat coaches wanted a foul there. Durrett using his arm to actively push Atkins away from him. Bateman now with the ball, fakes, gets in the paint, loses the ball, and I believe it's going to remain with the Badgers under their own basket. Wildcats doing real well to get their hands on it.
Yeah, you know, Atkins kind of sets the tone defensively when he wants to. You know, it's good to see.
Yeah, he keeps them hungry and keeps them fired up, which is not something we can say for the last time these two teams matched up. Inbound stolen by Nearing. Nearing picks up his dribble, and looks like Durrett is going to pick up a foul there as Nearing's trying to pivot. He just crowded him. Nearing possibly could have picked up the offensive foul there.
I thought that too. That elbow was out a little bit, but he pivoted with it, so I think that's what got him the benefit of the doubt. So we'll take that, and we'll see if the Cats can capitalize.
Wildcats working in kind of a half-court press here, and they're going to find Ortley once again on the baseline. Atkins will be wide open from the top of the key. He'll fire a 3, and he'll popcorn around in there. No good. Rebound Luna, and Luna tries to get the ball to Nearing. And we've seen this a couple of times where sometimes Graydon Nearing has a tendency to pull his hand back from passes when he doesn't think they're catchable. Maybe he thought he could have tricked a Bonners Ferry player into slapping at him or something, but the Wildcats force a turnover out of their press.
It was a great hustle play by Luna.
Yeah. Ortley getting, just out of control.
Ball was loose there, though. I don't know if I call that a travel, but I guess maybe he was traveling before it went loose.
I'm trying to figure out what happened there, why Ortley was allowed, or why Ortley gave up position to a smaller player, but it'll be Badger ball. They're on top, or I'm sorry, Wildcats are on top 2-0 still. 6:14 left in the quarter. Stripped from Brennan
Atkins.
Recovered by Ricketts. Ricketts finds Nearing in transition, dumps it off to Ortley. Ortley, strong move, and it will roll off the side of the rim. Badgers can't control it, though, so it'll be Wildcats' ball. The Wildcats had 5 guys back on defense. I think they chalked that one up to a lost possession there.
I think Bonners is going to kick themselves over that one.
Yeah, that's a frustration right there. Wildcats struggle with that a little bit. 50-50 ball's not going their way. Ooh, dangerous inbound play. Corralled by Atkins. He'll pull up off the front of the rim. No good. Rebound Hiddle, and Hiddle will get fouled by Atkins.
Yeah, that's a no-brainer for a ref right there. You've missed that shot and kind of have a little bit of frustration, and then you're never going to get that ball.
You don't shoot, and it's odd to see Atkins' shot in motion kiss the front of the rim like that. You know, when you're dribbling towards the hoop, you tend to see shots go long, not so much short. Durrett with the ball.
Cats come up empty, Josh. They got to start capitalizing on points. They've had 3 or 4 possessions there. They weren't all turnovers, but they got looks that they're going to have to get to go down if they're going to win tonight.
Yeah, and that was kind of the issue against Bonners Ferry. Up in Bonners Ferry, the shots they did get off just didn't go in as Durrett puts in the little 2-point basket. Ortley will break the press, drive in, takes a lot of contact, and puts it off the glass for 2 to give the Wildcats back their lead.
Good job running the floor. I like to see that. That energy is good tonight again. Like, we've noticed this. Which Wildcat team are we going to get? It looks like we've got some energy. I was able to watch a couple practices with Jeff Nearing and the crew, and they were working on that 2-2-1 press and a half-court press. So I think he knows what the bread and butter is going to be here.
And, you know, we saw it. And the funny thing about this Wildcat team is, as happy as we are right now to see them flying around, hopefully it's not something that's going to change. We've seen it change.
Right. Yeah, we have.
We saw against Timberlake. They started out just like this and ended up losing the ball game.
Yeah, they came out of the gate fast.
Yeah, and then it just kind of fell apart after that first quarter. Wildcats got lucky. They didn't get a 10 count there. Swinging the ball around. Ortley with the hot hand right now. He's going to try from the elbow. No good. Rebound. Luna can't hold on to the ball.
He's got to corral that. That's his rebound, and it should be his and nobody else's.
That should be Kellogg ball, but unfortunately couldn't corral the pass. Bateman's going to get inside, draw the foul on Ortley, and that's what Bateman does best. He can contort his body in the air. He's got great body control once he leaves his feet, and, you know, for Wildcat defenders, they just need to go straight up and not worry about, no, don't bring their arms down. If he has to bend at a 90-degree angle to make a shot, let him.
Exactly.
It's a tough shot to make as he gets the first free throw to go down. This Bateman is a very athletic. They have him listed as 6'2", but I'd say he's a little bit taller than that, and he plays above the rim on the regular. Second shot for Bateman is good, tying this ball game up at 4 apiece with 4.5 left here in the first quarter. Atkins dribbles right through the press, finds Ricketts through the middle. Ricketts is going to go up, a lot of contact, no call. Luna with the offensive rebound. And Ricketts, I think, was almost assured that he was going to get the foul there, and that's why he kind of floated it up like he did. No call. Fortunately, Luna was there to kind of clean it up.
God, Luna, and there's an opportunity. Great rebound. Luna, he has so much potential. I saw him just when I went down on the floor to go to hits the front end there. Just when I went down to get the score situated, just watching him in warm-ups, he's bigger than he looks, even, you know, and I see him every day in the hallway, but he's got to play that way.
He's a big, strong kid. First free throw goes in. Second free throw, the exact same, making a 6-4 ball game. He kind of had his coming out party the other night against Wallace.
Yes, he did.
Hopefully he can maybe continue a little bit of that. There's nobody here that's even remotely the athlete that any of those Wallace players are, so he should be well within reason to have another game like that as Hiddle's layup wildly misses.
Luna changed that shot a little bit. A little late on the help, but nonetheless, he got the shot changed.
Nearing cuts through the defense, misses the little bunny shot there. Great transition offense from the Wildcats. Ricketts threw an absolute perfect pass to Nearing as, I'm sorry, that's Caleb Peterson's little jumper misses off the side of the rim. And Peterson, I have called a few games with this Bonners Ferry team this year for the Wallace Miners, and I can't for the life of me remember this Caleb Peterson. But he's a lengthy.
Yeah, he's got some wingspan.
Wingspan.
Yeah, he does.
On this kid is impressive. Wildcats go into their bench here with 3:50 left in the first quarter. Maybe they'll figure something out. Brandon Miller dumps it off to Ortley. Ortley to Luna. Luna goes up, misses the shot, can't corral the rebound. What a pass from Ortley to Luna.
Great pass, and again, Luna's got to be stronger with the ball. He's got to use every last bit of that strength and go up strong.
Morgan flips the ball out to Hiddle. Hiddle shot wildly misses. Rebound Ortley, and the ball gets slapped out of his hand by Matt Morgan, but Morgan came from out of bounds to do it, so the ball will remain with the Wildcats. Coach Jeff Nearing wanting Tyler Ortley to be stronger with the ball.
I think that's going to be universal. These guys down in the paint, they're not tall enough to get away with, you know, kind of haphazardly grabbing that thing. You got to own it once you get it.
Justin Waller almost has the ball stripped, finds Nearing. Nearing's going to push it up, dribbles in, a lot of contact, goes up, off the front of the rim, no good. He'll go to the line for 2 there.
Good strong take there by
Graydon, yeah.
By Graydon, yeah.
When Graydon goes into attack mode, he becomes almost unguardable. The problem is that he tends to, I don't know, after a couple times not getting the ball to go through the net, he starts
shy away a little bit.
Shying away, like he doesn't want to shoot free throws. He wants and ones or just lay-ins. So it's nice to see him do this. Shot for Nearing goes in, making this a 7-4 ball game.
You know, for his size, he slashes to the basket really well.
And he's talk about wingspan and giant hands. This kid is physically gifted, meant to be a guard. Second shot for Nearing's up and in, and he led the Wildcat scorers the other night against Wallace with 16 points. So he's shown that he can be that offensive leader if they need him to be.
For sure.
But he's just got to do it. Wildcats let the Badgers get away with everything on that press break. And fortunately, the Badgers...
Didn't see that backside. There was a little bit open.
There were 2 Badgers wide open. Wildcats breaking this Badger press. Once again, it's Nearing. Nearing finds Waller, who's checked into the game to give Atkins a little bit of a break. Nearing's going to get a good look. Finds Ortley. Ortley will go baseline again. A lot of contact, and he's going to go up. Can't get it to go in, but a ton of contact there. Hiddle's going to drive in. Flips a wild lay-in up. Misses, no good. Luna with the outlet pass. Ortley corrals it, goes up with the left-handed jump shot. And
I don't know how we didn't score on that. I'm trying to replay that sequence, and I just don't know how we didn't score
Ortley
there.
shot the jump shot, falling away with his left hand on the left side. I think he thought he was going to go left-handed lay-in, but then there was a ton of contact, so it turned into a very odd jumper. Justin Waller is going to pick up a foul there, not moving his feet. Wildcats on top 8-4.
Really could easily be up more. Defensively, the energy is there. Just even if they're converting on 50% of their possessions, I think they're up 8 or 10 here.
And right now, I kind of like this move right here by Nearing to bring Logan Jerome in off the bench. Logan's been a very stable to ship type player for these Wildcats. And then Tyrell Davis really has, I mean, he's kind of like a boomer bust player.
Yeah.
When he gets going, he's hard to stop. We just got to get him going.
Got to get him channeled in the right energy and direction.
Logan Jerome already making waves. Tipped a pass, almost recovered by the Wildcats.
Those fresh legs make a big difference, don't they?
Wildcats moving, or Badgers moving the ball around. Waller comes up with a steal, gets just absolutely hammered there by Matt Morgan as Waller tried to corral the loose ball. Morgan kind of hit him with the old diving tackle there, so it'll be Wildcats
I'll tell you something. If Morgan's as aggressive as his dad was, or anywhere close, he's going to be. It's like we're running into a brick wall.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. If he's anything like any of his cousins were that we watched here, he's going to be quite the physical specimen. Wildcats working on this press. Tyrell Davis dribbles right through the trap, kicks it out to Justin Waller. A little bit later on his passes than I would like. He needs to just get him going a little bit quicker. Brandon Miller dribbles out of a trap, kicks it across to Logan Jerome. Dangerous pass to throw from Brandon Miller.
I feel like they got lucky there. I feel like we got lucky in the paint there. I feel like Waller and Miller are still a little unsure with the ball. It seems like they're just so tense when they have it instead of smart, and we're getting lucky. So they just need to calm down. And, you know, 5 seconds is a long time. You have a dribble.
Wildcats inbound play. Tyrell Davis with a nice little fadeaway, and there we go, right there. Great little design pass and just step in and post up.
That was pretty.
Gives the Wildcats a 10-4 lead here. Badgers have 16 fouls, so something to watch as this half progresses.
Early bonus, yeah, for sure.
And the foul there, I don't know who they're going to hit that. I'm trying to see right here who they're giving the blocking foul
Miller,
to.
maybe?
Brandon Miller is going to pick up his first. We're calling this game from our new location on the
media deck,
the north end of the gym, so we don't have the ability to see with the refs reporting right away. Entry pass from the Badgers gets tipped up by that's Dallin Foster.
Josh, we have a little bit more room up here than we do in the K-Wall Crow's Nest. I don't know how George and Paul survived up there.
You know,
that is tight quarters.
I did one game up there by myself a few years ago, and I don't know how they did it. So, and it just, I felt like I had to have an insurance policy for the people sitting under me.
Well, we have Porter Lewis up there, our cameraman for the night. Shout out to Porter and Andrew, his brother, keeping score, so we'll make sure that scoreboard is right. Thank you to the Lewis boys.
Yep. Once again, our crew of diminutive tech guys.
Yeah.
Just getting it done for us.
We got an army of them.
Wildcats moving the ball. Errant pass from Justin Waller, trying to throw a skip pass through the key. Tipped up and stolen by Durrett. Durrett's going to bring the ball back, working on Waller. And they're just swinging the ball around. The Badgers, 41 seconds left in this quarter. Badgers are moving the ball well. They're just not getting any looks. Morgan in the high post going to dribble through, dumps it off to Foster. Foster's little 15-footer goes in, making this a 10-6 ball game. Waller in transition, bringing the ball up, swings it over to Tyrell Davis. Davis thought about the three, goes high post. Logan Jerome, little ball fake, and he's going to get called for a travel, unsure of his footing there.
Came down a little awkward and then couldn't make his mind up which way he was going to pivot. That'll get you.
I would have liked to see Tyrell Davis just not even think and pull the trigger on that shot there. I mean, he made his first one. Give yourself a little heat check. 16 seconds left here in the first quarter. Wildcats on top by 4.
Miller was late getting over there. That's what Nearing was working on at practice. So I hope they fix that.
Shot from Foster, no good. Gets his own rebound. He turns and fires an out-of-control shot. And they're going to hit Luna with a foul here. And I don't think there was any foul. I think everything about how Foster ended up on the ground there had to do with
all his
Foster.
own doing, wasn't it? Looked like it was all his own doing.
It was a heck of a pirouette down there from Dallin Foster. Luna's going to pick up probably one of the cheapest fouls I've ever seen. That's the 5th Wildcat foul, so a physical and dare I say sloppy first quarter.
Yeah, Kellogg's got to do defensively. I feel okay, but down here on the offensive end, I still think they left about 6 points out. Realistically, you're going to miss a few, but I still think they left about 6 points up there.
Foster goes 2 for 2 from the line to make this a 10-8 ball game. 3 seconds left. Tyrell Davis will dribble through. He's going to get a shot off the glass. No good. Good look, though, for Tyrell Davis. Got him to bite on the hesitation at half court and dribbled right around to make it a better shot. So at the end of one quarter, it's Wildcats 10, Bonners Ferry 8. We'll be right back with the second quarter. Thanks for watching Channel 3 Sports. And back with second quarter action here. It's Kellogg Wildcats on top of the Bonners Ferry Badgers 10-8 to begin the second quarter. This is Channel 3 Silver Valley Sports. Wildcats ball starting, well, no, almost the starting lineup back in the game. Starting backcourt in the game. They're going to find Tyler Ortley right in the middle. Ortley, a lot of contact, finds Atkins cutting. Atkins' little floater.
That's a great look. Atkins got to do a little bit better, get that above the rim.
It was short as soon as it left his hand.
Yeah, it was.
Atkins and this Wildcat defense flying around to make up for their offensive limitations here. But both teams in some foul trouble early, so this half has could potentially play out very long.
Yeah.
If any more fouls happen. Atkins finds Nearing over the top. Nearing drops it into Ortley. Ortley spins out, finds a wide open Miller. Miller won't pull the trigger. Wildcats seeming reluctant to pull the trigger on threes. Some decent looks here.
Miller's got a pretty decent stroke, does he? Yeah. He can get hot.
He's got a green light, and he'll take this one, though, and it's in. And just like that, what Simon says happens as Miller knocks down the three.
Must be the new location. This must work up here, Josh. Let's go with it.
Perfect, making this a 13-8 ball game. Sketchy pass from the Badgers, corralled in by Dallin Foster. We get the ball out to That's Dylan Hiddle. Hiddle working the ball around to the perimeter with Matt Morgan, along with Hayden Stockton and another Stockton. There's been a few Stocktons over the last few years from Bonners as well. Peterson will fire a three, no good. Rebound Stockton, flips one up, rebound Wildcats. Kick the ball ahead in transition. Nice pass to Ortley, but Ortley's just not quite there. It's the right pass, and I
got to put a little air under it.
Put a little air under it, and you know, maybe when you have a guy on either side of the guy you're throwing to, maybe don't make that pass.
Yeah, you know what Kellogg's not allowing to happen is they have numbers. If they would get the ball to the middle of the court and then somebody fill on each lane, they've got numbers.
Absolutely.
They're just trying to get that first pass, kind of like the girls, that first post pass. Reverse the ball a couple times and open some stuff up.
Well, we've talked at length about how this Wildcat team might not be the most talented team that we've seen over the last few years, but they could very well be the most athletic.
Yeah, they are. They are athletic. That's a good point.
You know, last year, for as great as the team last year was, there were a few guys on that team, whether it was Tanner Mueller, Ryan Morgan, Jacob Hammerberg, some of those players, you didn't want them bringing the ball up.
No, right.
Now this team, I mean, the only person who doesn't really ever bring the ball up is Luna.
Yeah.
But we've seen Ortley, although we've seen Ortley turn it over, but we've seen Ortley play a ball handling position out of the press. We've seen Brandon Miller, Logan Jerome, these guys confidently handling the ball. And, you know, down the road, Wallace has had success with it. With 5 guys handling the ball, Wildcats need to get a little bit more comfortable with the ball, and they can outrun every team they play against.
I think they can, and I think they can encourage that tempo and just play with it and do it on the defensive end as well, and just go with this. I think Jeff's probably Coach Nearing. I think he's starting to see that. Every time I've watched them practice this week, they've been working on press. So,
and that's where they've lacked on defense. Nice inbounds pass, nice drop off from Gavin Luna to Logan Jerome.
That was beautiful.
Some great ball movement there from the Wildcats, and they're going to sit back down in this 2-2-1 press, moving around. And, you know, if you're going to throw passes like that, nice tip out there from Gavin Luna. He's going to force that steal. I feel like Stockton threw that pass back to Hiddle from the other side of half court, but the referee is not in position to see that. It's so fast-paced right now, this ball game. That's Dallin Foster goes inside to Hiddle, back to Foster. Foster dumps it off to Peterson. Peterson will put up a little shot. And
there we go.
Luna with the rebound.
I was going to say, he needs to get a whistle on that. That was a good rebound.
Luna down there playing incredibly strong, but I think a lot of teams have figured out that when you're playing against Luna, you get your hands in there. You take one.
Yeah, you got a shot. Yeah.
You put your hands in there against Luna. There's a potential that you're going to knock the ball out and you're not going to get called for the foul. We've seen it time and time again this year where he's going up getting rebounds and guys are tipping the ball out. I don't necessarily think it's him not being strong with the ball so much as it's guys just smaller guys trying to take advantage of a big guy and the officials having sympathy for the smaller guy.
Yeah,
you know,
well,
reward the hard work, but
exactly.
Poor Luna's taken an absolute beating this season, especially on the defensive end.
Yeah, just because the little guy bounces off you doesn't mean the guy didn't foul you.
Yeah, it doesn't mean it wasn't a charge. Just because you didn't flop for him.
Yeah.
And Bonners Ferry's little mid-range, no good.
He got away with an elbow there.
Matt Morgan used his elbow to throw Raiden Ricketts out of the way. Graydon Nearing's going to go up, and they're going to call the offensive.
Oh, I think Jeff Nearing's clapping, so I think he thinks that they're calling that the correct way, which I would. Oh, he called a charge. He's calling a charge.
We're getting an offensive foul here, and I think everyone is trying to figure out how that call was made. Hiddle didn't get set up until Nearing was already in the air, and a late call. That was about as dramatic as you can get from these officials.
Yeah, I just watched that on the replay, and he's so far deep down there, and he's not set by the time he takes off. I don't agree with that call.
Raiden Ricketts picking up a foul there, and this is where the Wildcats have struggled, putting the Badgers in the bonus, but they've had most of their fouls between the three-point lines. You know, they haven't been fouls on possessions. It's trying to get these turnovers on this press, and Coach Jeff Nearing is letting the official who made the offensive foul call, he's letting him hear about it.
Yeah, he's wanting to tell him he just didn't see it that way, and I didn't either. Like you said, bang play, but.
Yeah. And we absolutely had great position. That's great for the Wildcats right there. Wildcats are going to be inbounding the ball from their own baseline. But, yeah, where we were standing, Graydon Nearing broke through that press, went up, and Hiddle stepped right into it. Hiddle was absolutely set. I'll give him credit there. But he wasn't
Right.
set until Nearing was already
Right.
mid-air.
Right.
And that's a safety rule at that point. Atkins cutting through the lane, finds Nearing, and Wildcats kind of running a weave here. Raiden Ricketts slashes to the basket for a nice layup there. And we've seen what happens when Raiden Ricketts can get going. He can
Definitely.
he's a fireworks kind of player. He'll go for 8 points real quick. The press forces the Badgers to take a timeout as Durrett and Atkins exchange pleasantries at half court. A little extracurricular activity. So Badgers going to take a timeout. You know, surprisingly, we're almost 4 minutes through this quarter, and we've only seen like 2 fouls called.
Yeah, it's been a fast pace.
So it's cleaned up significantly from the first quarter there.
You know, we got a little break here. We're staying here for the quarter. You know, it was good to see, speaking of Matt Morgan, it was good to see, you know, Matt Morgan, the player tonight. His grandpa Gary, I saw him in the crowd, you know, another Kellogg alum. And I also think I see Matt's aunt, Heather, in the crowd. It's cool to see the Morgan family still traveling well, still in the sports scene, and boy, a lot of history and heritage there. So I wish they were Wildcats, but
it would be nice. Oh, and an errant pass there from Durrett to Bateman is almost stolen by Nearing. And let's not, I mean, the Nearings have the ties up in Bonners
that's
Ferry.
right, a little inverse action here, huh?
Absolutely.
Boy, Jeff was a player. I watched Jeff play against my classmate Matt James. He was 1 year behind Matt, and boy, those battles were great. Those two big guys could play.
I could imagine that would be pretty exciting. Bateman slashes, nice little pump fake midair to get the lay-in. Wildcats on top, 17-11. Just under 4 minutes left here in the first half.
Cats are okay here. Just keep playing that offense. Keep penetrating and finding the open man when they help, and I think the Cats are okay. Here we go.
And Raiden once again misses the lay-in, but rebound Luna. Luna will go up. Nice move there. He'll get his own rebound again and go off to make that a 19-11 game. But we've talked about this too. Wildcats just have to be patient. There's no shot clock. Matt Morgan is trying to clear space down there. And,
he ain't going to clear it with Luna, is he? That ain't going to work.
Luna and Jerome are just working down there as Raiden Ricketts pulls in the rebound, and Bateman's going to get charged with his second foul. So Bateman is going to be in a not necessarily foul. Oh, it's his third. Bateman's going to head right back to the bench.
A good sequence there for the Cats. Both sides of the court. That Ricketts floater here wasn't the greatest, but Luna didn't give up on it and went up strong twice. So.
Well, and I think Ricketts went in there with every intention of passing that ball to Luna. And it tends to be the Wildcats get in there deep on the 1-and-1. No good. Luna with the rebound over Morgan. Tried to get the putback. No good. I think Ricketts went in there with the intent of floating the shot to, or floating a pass to Luna. Luna just didn't get open. Fortunately,
it looked like a shot.
Yeah, fortunately Luna got the rebound there. Luna right there cutting off the baseline, forcing the Badgers into a tough shot, but Peterson knocking down the open 15-footer there. And Peterson has played particularly well for these Badgers in reserve duty. Luna just picked up an offensive foul on Matt Morgan, and I think some of Morgan's antics are starting to get to
he has
Luna.
been. There's been the little inside game, just kind of little stuff that you don't see, just kind of frustrating him.
Some elbows and some stuff here and there. Luna's going to head to the bench real quick to get a breather. Wildcats are on top 19-13. Into the game comes Tyler Ortley. So even though Luna, the big physical bruising presence of Luna not in the game, the Wildcats just got faster.
They did.
So potentially devastating for these Badgers. These Wildcats can fly around on defense a lot faster with Luna off the floor. Durrett moving the ball around the perimeter here.
Let's see if they do that.
Yeah, I have to believe that's what they're going to do. Ricketts out in the corner, great defense, forces Durrett to pick up his dribble. And Morgan once again getting away with a little bit of a hook there. Rebound Ortley. Ortley I thought was winding up for that pass.
I did too. Gosh, I held my breath there for about 3 seconds.
Atkins with the ball now for the Wildcats. Wildcats not struggling really. Bonner's trying to press after missed shots. So, design backdoor play for the Wildcats, tipped out of bounds. Hiddle had a spy on that the whole way.
You know, even if that's all that resulted in, I do like the fact that they pulled the ball out and they organized something and they ran it.
Instead of trying to get a transition bucket.
Yeah, it was it's good. And that'll build, I think. They'll get there.
Atkins working on Hiddle. Dumps it off to Nearing. Nearing got away with a little hop there. In the paint, though, goes up, gets fouled, and that's going to be charged to Hayden Stockton.
And there's Nearing again, Josh. Nearing taking it to the rack hard.
Nearing in the key. He's got great footwork, and like we talked about with his big hands and long arms, he's very capable of creating a look for himself. First shot for Nearing, no good. Score still stands 19-13. 2 minutes left here in the first half.
Raiden 2 for 4 from the free throw line.
And it would be nice to get another one of these. There we go.
Or excuse me, he's 3 for 4 now, so that was his first miss.
20-13, Wildcats on top. Badgers just patiently breaking this press.
And that's okay, right? That's okay. They're out of sync a little bit. They've worked
they're
it.
not running.
Now you play defense.
And in the game against Bonners Ferry in Bonners had transition offense for days, and it really affected the Wildcats here. Bonners had a back door there. They just didn't make the pass. Morgan dribbles in, kind of a wild left-hand scoop lay-in. It's good, making a 2015 ball game. Wildcats coming back, and Atkins is going to get called for a travel.
Just on that edge, Josh, of the push, and you really got to know at that point, your team is already up here. Nobody's got early post position, and all you're doing over there is dribbling yourself into a trap. So just maybe pull up a little bit more. Get to the middle. Get the ball to the middle of the floor once you know that transition's not there.
Absolutely. Well, Badgers with the ball, and that's always been kind of the Wildcats have watched teams over the years run transition plays better than anyone else in North Idaho,
right.
I would venture to say.
Yep.
This little team of giant killers for the last few years has just kind of rained terror on these other teams because they run. So the example that's been set for them is to get out and run.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, that style of play doesn't necessarily suit this team because while they might be more athletic, they're not necessarily the same players and decision makers. That
Exactly. That tends to pay dividends more on the defensive end. And there's nothing wrong with a good, strong push, but just do it in mind. If there's nothing there right away, we're going to run the set, the half-court set. Then you're really going to force your will on the other team. You're going to make them go up tempo. You're going to reverse the court, and you're going to make them play defense.
Exactly. Raiden Ricketts just picked up his second personal, so he's going to head to the bench, and I believe we're going to get a lane violation here on the Badgers. Durette's free throws. First one no good. Second one went in, but there was a lane violation, so the shot doesn't count. Wildcats dangerous inbound right into the corner there. Minute 10 left here in the second quarter of play. Tyrell Davis with the ball. Dumps it off to Brandon Miller. Miller holds his dribble. And the Wildcats, that nasty habit is one of the worst things. One of the things I will forever critique this
Cardinal
group about.
sin.
Yeah. Nice move from Tyrell Davis. A lot of contact, no good there. And I think number 21, Peterson, was trying to draw a foul, but he fell way before the contact.
Boy, did you see Ortley go airborne on that one? Ortley got up on that, changed the shot, made him. That was a good flyby.
He tried to dribble underneath, but he had already taken a step.
Got a little quick.
43 seconds left here in the first half. Wildcats with the ball. Tyrell Davis kind of taken over. Oh, nope. I thought he had taken over maybe point guard duties because they liked the matchup.
Okay, now let's keep the dribble right here unless we know what we're doing. That's better. Now move. Gotta have guys
Ortley
moving.
with the nice little, and the trip from Morgan.
Yeah, Morgan got him just slightly.
And Peterson ate every pound of Ortley on that drive. Had that not happened, that trip not happen, Peterson was set up perfectly for the charge. And that was a heck of a collision underneath the basket there. Peterson popped right back up, though. Good for that kid. Ortley's free throw hits the front and drops in. 21-15 ball game here. Just under 30 seconds left. 28 seconds left here in the second quarter.
Well, Cats are getting to the line tonight. That's 11 times being at the line. That's pretty decent.
Double bonus in the first half. I'm wondering if we're in store for a long second half. Ortley's second shot, nothing but net. He knew that was good as soon as it left his hands. He was already at half court by the time it went through the net. Stockton with the ball for the Badgers, dribbling up. He's going to pull from three. No defense from the Wildcats. No good. Rebound corralled by Ortley. Ortley's going to get slapped from behind by Durrett.
I think you're going to see, I think the Badgers are getting in some foul trouble here. I mean, legitimate foul trouble across the bench. They're really putting some fouls out there tonight.
And kind of just some handsy play. They're trying to make plays off of rebounds to maybe get extra possessions while everyone's getting back in transition. I can't say that I blame them. It's an interesting strategy and one that's worked for them against Kellogg in the past. Ortley's free throws up and good.
Ortley's shooting with confidence, isn't he?
Yeah, you can see it in his face. He's making faces as he's shooting. He looks like he's having a good time. He's relaxed. It's a 23-15 ball game. Wildcats could push this lead to 9. Would really like to see him take a double-digit halftime lead. Ortley's second shot is up and in. 16 seconds left. Badgers with the ball.
No fouls here now. Just play good defense.
Hiddle being worked on by Waller. Waller is a good on-ball defender. They're going to go up over the top. Rebound Ortley. Ortley's going to dribble out. Finds Tyrell Davis. Davis in transition. Step through. He'll get another shot at the basket.
Oh, that looked good.
And his second try at that same shot from the other side hit a little lower on the backboard, but just barely clanged off the front of the rim. So at the end of the first half, the Wildcats are on top of the Badgers, 24-15.
You think we'll get a Coach Nearing for a Popovich halftime interview here, Josh, or no? What do you think?
I don't know. I don't know. It was kind of sloppy first half, but he's got a smile on his face.
He does have a smile on his face.
He does have a smile on his face, so we'll see. I think we're still going to try to get our former ball players up here for a bit of an interview.
You know, I know one of them's not shy. Tyler Gibbons isn't shy. Now,
no.
I don't know if I'm comfortable putting him on
I
live
was
air.
about to say, putting him on the air might be the part that terrifies people. But it could be fun. Who knows? But you know what? Right now we're going to take a little break. We'll be back with, who knows, some stats, maybe an interview, but at least the second half of play for sure. Thanks for watching Channel 3, Silver Valley Sports. Hey everybody, this is Josh McDonald, and we have a little special halftime interview for you. We've got, well, I guess technically he's considered the reigning Intermountain League MVP, and Kellogg alumni Chase Jerome, state champion golfer. Overall, just Kellogg stud, and he's here. He's watching his alma mater play in this big league contest. What are some of the things you saw in the first half that you liked?
I don't know. I just like how they're playing with a lot of intensity right now.
Yeah, and Simon and I talked about this. You know, for a team that had 10 team fouls and only gave up 15 points,
Yeah.
that is pretty indicative of how aggressive they're playing on
Oh, yeah.
defense. Now, we know that offensively you were a force to be reckoned with, and you played on teams that could put up a lot of points.
Right.
So you're watching this team, and they're struggling to score, but
Right.
they're making up for it on defense. What would you do differently if you were some of the Kellogg players? If you were Graydon Nearing and Raiden Ricketts and maybe Brennan Atkins, what would you be doing differently?
I'd be trying to slow our team down right now.
Slowing it down?
Yeah, no, they're moving a little too quick right now. They're making some bad mistakes, but I mean, if they slow down a little bit, run their offense, I think they'll be just fine.
I think so too. This is an important league win for them. Any message you'd like to send out to the Wildcat faithful here?
No, just keep believing, I guess.
Well, thanks, Chase.
Oh, yeah, thank you. I
Yeah.
appreciate it very much.
Thanks for coming up, buddy.
Oh, yeah.
And that was Chase Jerome. A lot of fun there. For me, in my other job, I do the newspaper, and gosh, it's been a weird year. This is my first year doing the newspaper job where I haven't been covering Chase Jerome and his little crew.
Yeah.
So it's been really weird for me to not have those players.
Yeah, you get used to them, don't you? And especially when they're multi-year, when he's been doing that since he was a freshman, sophomore.
Multi-year, him, Tyler Gibbons, Trevor Bumgarner, all those guys had just for so long.
Josh, his phone is blowing up. This interview has gone.
It's gone viral.
It's gone.
He's a celebrity.
He's getting hit up on his phone now, LeBron style.
He's got to hire an agent. He's got that silky smooth voice. Maybe we'll have to recruit him to do some games with us.
Word is it might be Cade, the silent assassin, Finley.
Cade Finley. Cade, I'm better than Toby Colburn Finley. He'll hear that in about 20 seconds and really, really enjoy the name drop there. But no, maybe we'll have Chase join us for a little bit of commentating at some of our district events.
Yeah.
It would be a lot of fun to get him up there as a guy that won 4 straight district tournaments, and
he knows a little bit about basketball.
He knows a little bit about what it takes to win these kind of ball games and win on this kind of stage. So that was a lot of fun. Thanks for joining us, Mr. Jerome. And we're right back with the second half here, and it's going to be Badger ball to start the second half. Working the ball around here. And that's Durrett with the ball out there on the perimeter, finds Hiddle. Hiddle's just got to get to the basket, and he's going to try to get there, dumps it off to Morgan. Morgan can't corral it, but that's Peterson. Peterson picks up his dribble, fires it to Seth Bateman. Bateman back over to Peterson, and these little 6-foot passes between the Badgers are kind of flustering me as a commentator.
They're kind of like little bubblegum passes.
And you don't know how to guard them, and the ball pops off, and Peterson's going to try a 3, and it's going to be an air ball. I thought it might have been tipped. Not entirely sure there, but it'll be Wildcat ball coming back the other way.
I'm taking note of that. I am letting that guy shoot. That did not look like he was comfortable shooting that shot at all.
That didn't look like the shot that he wanted to get there. And Wildcat's coming back the other way. It's
no rush.
Graydon Nearing taking his time. He's going to drive in, goes up, dumps it off to Luna. Luna back out to Ricketts. Picks.
Did Ricketts double dribble that?
I think the ball popped out of his hands, but Graydon Nearing tried to go back to Ricketts, and it was tipped out of bounds. That was one of those possessions that, as a spectator, you just hold your breath.
Gosh, my heart was in my throat on that. I was like, what was going on there?
And like Chase Jerome said, the Wildcats just need to be patient. They just need to be patient with their offense. They have a 9-point lead, and from what we've seen, that's going to be kind of tough for these Badgers to overcome. Graydon Nearing gets in the lane, goes up with the right hand.
Pretty.
Nice lay-in from Graydon Nearing, finishing through the contact. And
that was nice body control by Squeaks on that one.
And an awkward travel. Durrett takes some contact, goes in with the left, and a rare defensive lapse for the Wildcats there. That was probably the easiest shot and easiest look the Badgers have gotten all game long. Ricketts with the ball. Or I'm not Ricketts, Atkins with the ball. Finds Ricketts.
You were just ahead. You knew it was coming.
I knew it was coming. And playing back and forth. I think they're trying to get Ricketts going here. Takes the screen, goes up, backdoor, little reverse Mike, and they're going to call an offensive foul on Graydon Nearing, though. And Seth Bateman thought the foul was on him.
I got to look at this, Josh. I got the replay here, 20-second delay. I'm going to see what we got. We got a backdoor cut, and we had a back pick. I just don't know if he gave his defender enough room on that back pick.
The official was on it, so he must have seen something he didn't like. Bateman with the ball. Badgers in no hurry to break this press, and they broke it at literally the 11th hour. Morgan's going to dribble in, goes up, gets blocked by Luna. Luna fires the outlet pass to Graydon Nearing. He's going to go up, and a lot of contact. Oh, and they're going to call an offensive foul. And that's all 3 of Graydon Nearing's fouls have been offensive fouls.
Yeah, he's right to be frustrated there. I just don't know. He didn't put an arm out. He didn't lean into him. He went up to the basket.
He's going up in the air and taking a lot of contact from guys who aren't set until after he's airborne. There's nothing he can do to change what's happening there. Durrett now with the ball. They're swinging it all over the place.
That wasn't even close, Josh. It wasn't even close.
Shot missed there. Raiden Ricketts fires it out to Tyrell Davis. Davis in transition goes up. And Davis just needed to put a little extra cheese on that lay-in, and he would have totally got that and won. So
I'm speechless after that call right there. I'm just speechless.
Tyrell will go to the line to shoot too, but, you know, we saw Graydon walk off the court and just punch the chair. And
hope his hand is okay. Yeah, I hope it was a slap.
A lot of times when you see a kid do something like that, the coach usually lets him hear about it. But I think in this instance, Coach Jeff Nearing was looking at his son going, no, dude, you're absolutely right. Looking at his player, not even just his son. Tyrell Davis goes 1 for 2 from the line here. But absolute frustration. Picked up 3 offensive fouls on 3 plays that, I mean, they're questionable at the very best. Tyrell Davis almost jumps the pass there. Badgers really struggling to break half court. Great defense from Ricketts. Wildcats playing just absolutely great defense, moving their feet. And then as soon as I say that, Brennan Atkins picks up the foul on the lay-in. That's Peterson. Peterson, despite picking up that airball 3 earlier, Peterson has found himself in position more often than not for these Badgers, either on nice dribble drive penetration moves, weak side rebounds. You know, he's hit a couple wide open jumpers. Peterson's shot is up and in. It's not the prettiest looking shot, but
does Peterson have the wrong number in the?
Yeah, he's under number 21.
Thought so.
But he was listed under, I believe, 32. Peterson's second shot is up, and it goes home. It's a 27-19 ball game. Ricketts with the ball.
Don't pick that dribble up, Ricketts. There we go.
Good crossover.
There we
He's
go.
going to get in, dumps it off to Luna. Luna should have just gone right up. Gets his own putback, can't make it. Rebound Bateman.
I just don't know how that didn't go in.
And Durrett making kind of a tough call there. Atkins dribbles through, ducks under the contact. And so what happened there was Durrett had an open man, but they turned and looked the other way. Ooh. And Raiden Ricketts just drew a spectacular offensive foul. He stepped right behind, I believe that was Hiddle, and stepped right behind Hiddle's own player and just totally suckered him into that charge there. Perfect position.
Well, that take by Atkins was something else too, wasn't it?
Right. It was absolutely a terrific take by Atkins. I'm still hung up on that charge right there.
Oh, yeah. He did set that and take it.
Yeah, he just popped right out, got in position. Great call from the official. Turnover by the Wildcats. Bateman can't really corral his own dribble. Really struggling to get a hold on it, but it does. Goes in, kind of an out-of-control lay-in, can't convert. Tyrell Davis with the rebound.
Okay, let's capitalize here. I'd like to see the Cats be disciplined and patient like Chase said.
Wildcats up by 10 right now, so first double-digit lead of the game. They just need to settle down.
Got to execute.
Oh, and right there is the exact opposite of what we wanted as Hiddle goes coast to coast off the steal. And Atkins needs to take better care of the ball.
Yeah, we just can't have that.
And I know Hiddle's length is got to be kind of frustrating. An errant pass, and there's no Wanting to
Wildcat crowd definitely frustrated tonight,
I
aren't
don't
they?
even know what happened right there. Tyrell Davis heading to the sideline. He's going to get a little love from Coach Jeff Nearing. He put Waller in right away, so Waller is into the game. Wildcats running with I don't think I've actually seen Waller and Atkins on the floor together. And Wildcats not taking care of the ball very well, but maybe Ortley will right the ship. He's going to go up and draw a foul, and two different Badgers came down with him.
Josh, and I thought you were going to say two different Wildcats picked up their dribble right before that, like double whammy.
We keep talking about it, and the hard part is it's the two guards.
Yeah.
The Wildcat guards, you know, and maybe they're used to playing off ball. Well, I know Justin Waller has been a point guard for at least the last 3 years for sure.
Yep, he hasn't played any other position.
I know Atkins has floated in and out of the two-guard spot depending on who he's played with. He's had some different running mates over the last few years, going from C-team to JV to now varsity.
Ortley's stroke looks good tonight. It really does.
Ortley and Luna have kind of like swapped places these last couple games, and it's kind of a pick your poison. If you're going to let Luna control the boards, then maybe Ortley's going to get the buckets. The other night against Wallace, Ortley was playing lockdown defense on Eric Brackenbush, and in the meantime, Luna with the rebound and the putback. He just kind of bumped Morgan out of the way. Good box out there from Luna. Wildcats on top 32-21. Hiddle with the ball. Fires over the top pass to Bateman. Bateman slashes middle, not checked, hits Luna, and Luna's going to draw the charge. And Luna selling that a little bit, but
the Cats are due a couple, wouldn't you say? Say we're due a little?
The only difference there is Luna was set up from the outset.
Yeah,
there.
he was.
Luna was he knew exactly what was coming. He was set right in the middle, hands up. I mean, he could have applied for to have his mail forwarded there. And Bateman crashed right into him. Unlike the ones that poor Graydon Nearing's been on the receiving end, where he goes up with clear paths to the basket. Next thing you know, there's a guy standing under him.
Yeah.
Atkins picks up his dribble, finds Waller. Waller's going to get in the paint, dumps it off to Ortley, and Waller's going to get called for the offense. And we're joined up here in the booth by Tyler Gibbons. I'm sure you just heard him announce.
We heard a
himself.
rumor he was in the building.
Yeah, he's all dressed to impress right now.
Just got off work, I think.
And maybe here at the break, at the third quarter break, we'll talk to another Wildcat great from the last couple of years.
And another two-time state champion.
Yes, another two-time state champ golfer. Atkins is going to knock that ball off of Chris Jarrett, and right above us, everyone, I think, in the Bonners crowd wanted to argue that call, but it was absolutely the right call. Simon and I were standing
We got a good angle on that one.
That was a good angle there. And now Jarrett is he's moving his feet on defense.
Jarrett spent a lot of energy on that exchange right there.
Yeah.
Ortley
with the pull-up.
Silky smooth Ortley.
Ortley with the pull-up jumper, and I have to imagine he's got to be somewhere around 14 points this game.
11, you're close.
11 points, and he is playing very well right now.
You know, we have a timeout. Is Tyler Gibbons ready for his interview?
No,
or
it looks like he's on.
Oh, he's on the phone already.
He's on the phone. We'll get him. We'll just let him know that he needs to be off his phone between the third and fourth quarter so we can talk. Maybe text his mom to let her know that she needs to tune in to hear her son's interview. She's always so proud of her baby boy. It's 34-21 right now in the third quarter. Wildcats on top. And, you know, the Wildcats have played incredibly solid defense this game. And, you know, I talked to one of the assistant coaches earlier today, Everett Jennings. He's the manager over at Yokes as well.
Yes, he is.
And he was kind of talking about how he was a little frustrated with the way they played up in
Bonners.
Up in Bonners Ferry. Mixture of being up there for 10 hours and the game not starting.
Quad day.
I mean, they were supposed to play at 7:30. The game didn't tip off till 8:30.
Oh, that's not good.
And then, you know, not having Atkins, and, you know, there's just a lot of things went wrong for Kellogg that day. And it showed. This game at home, you know, this is the Bonners Ferry team that I watched play Wallace earlier this year. Kellogg is playing them the exact same way, tough-wise, defensive-wise. Luna pulling down the big rebound, finds a wide open Atkins who goes up for two. But this is the same way the Miners handled Wallace or handled Bonner's Ferry just a month ago. And Brandon Miller picking up kind of a silly foul there, getting to a position late.
Got a little antsy on that one, trying to force it.
Those are excitement fouls, what you call those.
Yep.
Looking over here, and Tyler Gibbons is just having himself, some Dr. Pepper and lifesavers, courtesy of Josh McDonald right now. Badgers with the ball. Hiddle gets in deep and stolen by, almost stolen by Waller. Durette's going to get in, kind of floats an odd little floater up. And the Badgers have hit like 6 of those this game.
Yeah, they have. Those don't look like they have any business going in, and they do. So credit to them. Those are good shots. Those are good tough shots. But
Durette's going to pick up a foul there as he kind of rode Waller down the sideline. Waller's going to go to the bench playing good defensive minutes for the Wildcats. Tyrell Davis back into the game.
Josh, Wildcats are forcing Bonners to defend. They got a lot of guys in foul trouble.
Wildcats are all over the place defensively, and Badgers changed out of their zone and into a man to try and stop that inbounds pass, and it kind of flustered the Wildcats. So Jeff Nearing was forced to take a timeout. He's going to take a full timeout. Tyler Gibbons, are you ready for your interview?
Ready?
Okay.
Most definitely.
If he can figure out which way the headset goes on. Hey, and I'm with Tyler Gibbons here, and it's just been kind of fun to watch Tyler Gibbons along with Chase Jerome over the last few years doing this. And the rest of his teammates are down there cheering him on. But what do you see right now as a former state and district champion? What do you see right now from the Wildcats that you like?
They're playing hard and everything. I just think they need to start playing more as a team, honestly.
Yeah?
I think they need to get back to Kellogg basketball, pushing the ball and everything, because that's what we're good at.
So it's funny that you say that, because Chase Jerome said the exact opposite. He said he thinks they need to slow down.
Oh, hey, I can see Chase right now, and he's absolutely wrong. Kellogg needs to start pushing the ball more. That's our name. We push the ball. When we go down to state, that's what we're good at. Is we're pushing the ball. That's how we succeed. It's pushing the ball.
Okay. What about defensively? What do you like from these Wildcats right now?
They're playing active and everything. I just think they need to talk a little bit more.
Yeah.
I don't hear no talking out there, to be honest with you. If I was Nearing down there, me and Nearing are great friends. But they need to start talking more, man. They need to start getting more active.
Right there, the Wildcats just picked up what I think is probably their 6th offensive foul of this game.
For sure, they need to get under control.
Yeah, slow things down, maybe pick some better shots.
No doubt, man.
That was something that you and Chase Jerome were really good about, was ball control and body control. And do you think that these Wildcats have it in them to kind of get under the control and play the same style that you guys used to play?
I do. I definitely do. Brennan Atkins and Gavin Luna should be leading their team, just like me and Chase did. Me and Chase led the team. That's what we were. We were both leaders on the team. And, Brennan and Gavin need to get things under control, and when your teammate makes a mistake, they need to get after him for it. And that's what we did in practice and in the games.
I heard some of those practices were pretty entertaining.
Oh, they definitely were.
It was more...
Whether it was a fight between the players or Nearing about ready to hit one of us, hey.
I'm sure Tyler is
and I was the cause of Nearing about hitting all of us. So
well, at least you own up to it. But hey, thanks for stopping by, Tyler. It's been a lot of fun, and hopefully we'll see you again at a few more games, and maybe you can come up and give us some more expert analysis come district time.
Most definitely. Thank you.
Thanks, buddy. Oh no.
Gamer unit down.
And some mild technical difficulties here. We're popping and crackling a little bit. Sorry about that. Poor Tyler got a little tangled up in the cords. But Wildcats on top, 36-25. Minute 20 left here in the ballgame, or I'm sorry, third quarter. Brennan Atkins with the steal floats it up to Tyrell Davis for the easy left-handed lay-in. Wildcats starting to kind of get on their horse and get real comfortable, like he said. Get out and run.
Who made that, Josh?
That was Tyrell Davis. Raiden Ricketts with almost a steal, and then Hiddle's going to get called. Are they going to call that on They're going to call that on Atkins. Atkins just got thrown by Hiddle right in front of the official.
Atkins is pretty intense right now, though. I like that. He's dialed in.
Yeah, he wears absolutely emotions on his sleeve. Less than a minute left here in the third quarter. He's going to get a little breather here, and you start seeing him clap and get all amped up like that. Nearing probably knew that if he wanted foul number 4 to pop up, probably best to just put him on the sideline for a little bit. Oh, Tyler Ortley skying for a big rebound.
Ortley is having a big game tonight, Josh.
Didn't even care
big
that
game.
Dallin Foster was in his way. Pulled it right over the top. Wildcats moving the ball around just wonderfully right now. Waller with the ball. Goes the other way, a little misdirection. Dumps it off. Oh, saw Jerome just a second too late. Badgers in transition. That's Durrett with the ball in the corner.
Josh, dare I say the Cats are just moments from just blowing this open if they could get a couple buckets.
Yeah, if they could not turn the ball over. And we're going to get a carry there on Morgan.
That was either a carry or a push. You could call either one there.
Well, poor Logan Jerome's down there doing everything he can to move his feet and keep his hands up. And when you're getting just kind of thrown around, Morgan is not a small kid. Upper body-wise, he reminds me almost exactly of his cousin Tyler. Built just like Tyler, maybe a little thinner in the chest, but
yep.
Long arms and real strong. Ortley going to pull it from the elbow again. Tyler Ortley is feeling himself. Tyler Ortley is having a game and a night that the Wildcats needed him to have a game. Durrett with the ball, floats one over the top, trying to get it at the buzzer. It's good, making this a 40-27 ball game.
Disappointing in there at the end, but what a shot by Tyler Ortley.
Tyrell Davis almost had his third attempt at a buzzer beater. But so at the end of, 3 quarters, it's the Wildcats 40, Bonners Ferry 27. Right now, Wildcats only allowing 9 points per quarter. And as a coach, you got to be pretty happy.
Yeah, on a 16-point quarter there offensively, which we were saying they got to do a little bit better on the offensive end. They got to get some more points going.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's funny that we just, that interview that we did there, we had Tyler Gibbons, and his idea more or less was for them to pick up the pace.
Tyler was high energy. When we watched Tyler play, boy, he had some energy, so I can see where that was coming from.
We were just talking about Brennan Atkins' intensity. I can honestly say, I've played with some decent players over the years. We've seen players come and go, top-notch players. Tyler Gibbons might be one of the most intense players I've ever seen.
Very intense.
No one was ever going to, if he made a mistake, no one was going to be harder on Tyler than Tyler.
Yep. Very demanding of himself.
You saw that 2 years in a row at Gulf State, where he was kind of your anchor to 2 state championships, really. It was...
Yeah, he was very determined this last time around. He didn't play his best golf. Oftentimes you don't in that situation. It's a tough sport to play under the gun, but he grinded it out for 2 days, and it was all intensity.
Yeah, and you saw it, especially down the last part of the second day at State down there. He really showed his guts, but on the basketball floor, that 32 minutes a game, you had Tyler Gibbons being Mr. Intensity, and if they call Graydon Nearing for they're gonna say it was a block.
Yeah, Graydon just got up looking like I'm expecting the worst.
Yeah,
I think this is probably a charge. Oh wait,
Graydon got up with evil intentions.
Yes, he did.
If they threw that fist the other direction, I think we might have seen Graydon Nearing attack an official.
We would have seen Squeaks snap, I think.
Great way to keep himself composed and knock down that free throw. And Graydon Nearing in the last 2 games has been terrific. Those offensive fouls, I don't even care that he got them. They shouldn't have gotten them. Right there with the steal. And he just Kawhi Leonard'd that right out of the air. One hand grab like a claw. Atkins in the corner for 3, no good. Rebound, Ricketts with the save. And ooh! A nice block from Durrett. Atkins is going to go to the line. A little bit of body. The block was clean. It was the body that came after. That was a send-out.
Well, he got up on that one.
Yeah, and Durrett's got he has long arms. If there's one thing these Badgers all have, they have some wingspan.
They're lengthy, aren't they? Yeah.
If I was Coach Rice, I would sit them in a 2-3 zone.
Exactly.
A la Syracuse.
Yep.
And have just
get in passing lanes and shots.
Yeah, don't overcommit on man-to-man defense. Just get in
fly
there
around.
Yeah. Make sure that they don't get wide open looks.
Let's
from
hope
the
he
three.
doesn't hear us, Josh. Let's hope he doesn't hear us.
He's gonna go back and
keeps going at the man and letting us penetrate.
Yeah, he's gonna go back and watch this and be like, you know what? Those 2 announcers are right. Atkins goes 2 for 2 from the line there to make this 45-27 ball game. And like you said, Simon, it really feels like the Wildcats are just a possession or two away from blowing this wide open. There's the first part right there.
Let's get 2 here and go to 20.
I don't think the Wildcats have led by 20 this entire season.
I don't either.
You know, the other night they led by 15 against Timberlake. They led by 16 at one point against Wallace. They came from behind in their win against Lakeland. So I don't think I've seen them lead this much. Ricketts kicks it out to Ortley. Ortley misses. Rare miss for Ortley tonight. But look at Ortley, first one back on defense.
Ortley is in tune, or is in the game tonight. He is really dialed in.
And look at Logan Jerome. Logan Jerome, that play was facilitated on them trying to go inside, and that's Hiddle driving baseline. Logan Jerome defensively, great fight. Just a little too hard, but
just a miscommunication because he did lead him perfectly.
He led him. He tailored that pass even inside for Nearing to begin his drive in. Just a little too hard there. Coach Nearing, I think, liking what he's seeing from his team right now. This is the team I think that we all expected to see. We didn't expect them to be the 60, 70 points per game team that we had seen the last few years. But we knew that athletically they could get up and down the floor, and we watched it on JV. I mean, I watched these two teams almost identically battle it out last year on the JV level in a game that went into overtime, and I think the final score was like 65-60. So even in an overtime game, they're not scoring outrageous amounts of points, but they just need to take care of the ball because when they are getting their looks, when they pick their spots, this Wildcat team.
You know, I don't want to play if Kellogg plays this way. I don't want to play Kellogg in districts.
No,
because you're not shutting down one guy. They're going to play together. They're going to play smart. They're going to pressure you nonstop in a high-pressure game. I don't want to play Kellogg if they're going to do this.
Well, in Timberlake, I mean, they snuck out of Bonners Ferry with a win. Snuck out with a win, just like they did here.
Right.
Great defensive possession.
Again.
Right there from Graydon Nearing. He's going to drive in. A little bit of contact goes up. And he wanted the foul there. Didn't get it. Morgan just ran right over Ortley. Ortley popped right back up. And we're going to get a travel here. And
this is good stuff. That's good to see for these kids.
And I think Coach Rice he's got Ethan Hubbard, a freshman, in the game.
Yeah.
And
getting some tough minutes right now because the momentum is definitely with the Wildcats right now.
Both Dallin Foster and Ethan Hubbard are JV players. So Dallin Foster has played quite a bit in this game for a guy who's a JV floater. Graydon Nearing dribbles in. Wildcats working the ball around just like we like to see. Ricketts takes the lane, floats it up, no good. Can't get his own. He does get his own rebound. He'll go up again off the glass, and now the Wildcats with a 49-27 lead. And this is the most dominant the Wildcats have looked all season long.
Statement game, Josh, statement game.
Right now, the Wildcats are putting the foots down on the Badgers. And I love when shots pop up like that.
Yeah. You get to see those guys working hard down on the boards.
That's tough right there. Tough call there on I'm going to give that to Logan Jerome. It's going to put them at 9 team fouls.
Logan Jerome just a little undersized there, and the ball, when it did bounce twice, it kind of threw his timing off, so he kind of was off kilter a little bit.
Sometimes when we watch Logan Jerome play, I forget he's a sophomore. He doesn't make bad plays. He doesn't always make the most exciting plays, but they're not bad plays.
Agreed, 100%.
And mentally, he is very much there. The cousin of Chase, who was up here doing the interview earlier, so a very good genetic composition as both free throws go in for Bateman. Logan Jerome also cousins with Wallace stud Eric Brackenbush. Oh, my goodness. Brennan Atkins just carved down the entire court in like 3 seconds.
Yeah, he was motoring.
Dumped it off to Jerome, and I think Jerome probably could have popped from about 10 feet there. Maybe knocked that down, but when you're putting the beating the brakes off a team like this Kellogg team is doing to Bonners Ferry right now.
Look at Graydon Nearing working on defense tonight. Yeah, that's good stuff.
Shot goes off the front of the rim, rebound by Hiddle, and Atkins gonna pick up foul number 4 right there.
That's a lot of energy from Atkins.
Well, he just kind of crowded. He crowded Hiddle there.
Yeah.
And if you don't allow the guy the ability to pivot and kind of move his feet freely.
You know, good for them, though. They're playing with energy. They're playing with some confidence. It looks like they're having fun tonight.
If this was a tight game, then you would expect to see Nearing upset.
Right.
Hiddle knocks down free throw number 1 to make this a 49-30 ball game. Into the game, Justin Waller going to give Atkins a foul breather. You know, you have to respect Atkins' effort, though, and he's really kind of led the charge defensively, keeping these guys really hungry. Wildcats struggling to get the ball in. Nice drop off.
Oh, Waller's got to go with that. Waller's got to go
Ooh.
left hand and take off.
Ooh, and I actually think the
We
Badgers
get lucky there.
Wildcats getting real lucky there. Morgan forced that right off of Waller's left hand. If Waller's not comfortable using his left hand, dribbling up the left side of the court probably isn't the best idea.
I loved the give and go, though. I loved the release valve there at half court, or half court slightly, and then let him go. But he looked uncomfortable from the get-go.
Jeff Nearing not liking the way they're setting up that inbounds play. But in all fairness, Waller gets that ball and gets past that defender, and he's gone. He's got a 2-on-1 situation down here with him, and I believe it was either Brandon Miller or Tyler Ortley. So,
Josh, speaking of the golf kids, you were talking about Tyler with his intensity. It reminded me of a story shortly after, this is before we won the second title, but we had unveiled the banner up here, and the next week I came up and it was gone already, and I couldn't figure out what happened. I was pretty upset. I was like, why did somebody take it down? Where did it go? It only took me a little bit of investigation, and some of his teammates said, oh, he missed a couple free throws in practice and punched the ball, and it went right up to the wall and knocked the banner off. I go, well, I can't even get mad. One of my own guys did it.
At least it was Tyler.
It was Tyler.
It was Tyler that did it.
Yeah.
Wildcats, nice little stack play to get Graydon Nearing free. Nearing been playing very well. Out of the double team, finds Luna, pick and roll.
I just don't like these, Josh. I don't like these charge calls.
I don't like that call even a little bit. There was no possession.
You can't establish yourself when the guy's already left his feet.
Yeah, and there's absolutely no position there. And Coach Nearing and Colburn and his teammates like, yeah, you did nothing
shrug.
wrong.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do. You shrug.
Right there, and we're going to get another offensive foul. They're going to call that on Graydon Nearing. And I don't think, did Graydon pick up foul number 4?
Yes, he did.
And Coach Jeff Nearing.
Jeff Nearing, he doesn't even look like he has the capacity to be upset right now. He's more in shock, like what he's seeing.
He's definitely not okay with the officials.
No,
this guy right here has called all 4 offensive fouls on Graydon.
Yeah,
it has not been either of the other two officials, Mike Flock or, oh goodness.
White. Donnie White.
Donnie White. So, and it's not considered a player control foul, I guess. Nearing was already off the floor sitting. He didn't even wait for the sub. He was incredibly frustrated. I have to say that I can't blame him. I mean, he's played a terrific game in the time that they've allowed him to be on the court, and that whole situation right there. 2 free throws go in for Morgan, making this a 32-49 ball game. Braden Ricketts going to go deep in, drops it off to Jerome. Jerome, a little late on his move, but gets it to go in. 51-32. Wildcats, Ricketts flying all over the place. Wildcats have a hand on every ball here. Ricketts coming up with that rebound again, dribbling in transition, slowing things down.
Kept his dribble there. How about that? Look at what a difference that makes. The other side of the floor. Let's get this to go down.
Tyrell Davis gets the open 3 off of
Tyrell Davis from Skid Row.
Yeah, Ricketts right there really created all of that.
Yes,
though.
he did. Kept his dribble.
And a horrible travel there from Peterson was just overlooked. Wildcats with a 2-on-1 here. They're going to find Tyrell Davis in the corner. Ricketts right now has been the game manager that they've needed with Atkins off the floor.
Ricketts has done well in that position just the last couple possessions.
Yeah,
I'm really impressed.
Dribbling down deep into the teeth of the defense and not allowing, right there. Nice dump off to Logan Jerome. He'll go up, a lot of contact, no foul. Jerome picks up the easy bucket.
How about the poise from the sophomore?
Well, and let's talk about how great, like we said, Ricketts set that up. And there he is making a steal right there. Ricketts is bringing this one home. Braden Ricketts needs to get a standing ovation from this Wildcat crowd.
Bonner's Ferry wants no more of this tonight.
Yeah, Ricketts just put on an absolute clinic in ball handling, game management, dribble drive, and passing, and then got a steal and a wide open layup to cap the whole thing off.
Josh, the Wildcats have 18 points, and we're just about halfway through this fourth quarter.
I think the only thing that Ricketts didn't do on that last little sequence was get a block.
Yeah, that's about it.
He got a steal, he got a rebound, he dribbled the ball up, assist, bucket, everything.
Checked a lot of boxes on that one.
Just getting stats is Raiden Ricketts right now. And I've said from, I helped coach Raiden Ricketts when he was a freshman. And the kid at that point, I could see there was something there. It just, you had to have the right way of extracting it.
Yeah.
And my brother, who's the head coach, Ryan, he figured it out. My brother, an intense guy, very much fitting in line with Jeff Lambert,
the Jeff Lambert coaching tree.
I mean, he is a product of the Jeff Lambert coaching tree in expectation and temperament and drive. And it would be in practice, he would be dealing with the rest of his team and getting all fired up. But then Raiden didn't respond to that kind of coaching, so Raiden would get a little bit different, and it was just calm, get in his head, get him out of his head. If you can do to him what Gavin Luna was able to do to himself the other night and just get out of his own head, he turns into what we just saw there, and that's an absolute monster.
That was an absolute
monster. No. And a backcourt violation from the back.
Bonner's Ferry they can't figure out anything at this point. They're just out of sync.
That pass was thrown over the top, and definitely not a pretty pass. And it got tipped around about 4 times. None of the Badgers really wanting the ball. Oh no!
Well, the Wildcats are going to return the favor here.
I actually think Bonner's Ferry touched that ball. Yeah.
Good call by Flock. Flock saw it.
Yeah. Mike Flock saw that. It was definitely touched as soon as it left Ricketts' hands. I think it's funny that the crowd, the Bonner's Ferry crowd, which is right there on top of that, didn't see it, and official Mike Flock with perfect eyes right there to make that call.
Hey, Josh, changing the subject slightly, but getting back to the golf and the basketball and the family connection, Logan Jerome's mom, Sarah, was a basketball standout and also a phenomenal golfer.
Oh, really?
So yeah, she was 1 year behind me, and she could beat all the boys basically.
Well, and we've been talking about that family tree.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that family
There's some
tree,
athleticism
it
there.
branches over into Wallace, where we've seen 2 different Brackenbushes be excellent athletes just in the last half decade.
Yeah.
His Logan's uncle Grant.
Yep.
Grant
was
athlete.
a player. Yep.
We
good
obviously
athlete.
know that the Jerome family is well steeped in Kellogg lore.
Yeah, and Wade played some basketball too, and some sports, and he was good too. I mean, there's just athleticism throughout both of these families.
Well, and then Chase's grandpa.
Oh yeah, Ralph Braun, absolutely. Gosh, it just never stops. It's good stuff.
You start talking about those families as Justin Waller knocks down both free throws, making this a 60-34 ball game. It really is just impressive when you start looking at some of the lineage here. There's Ortleys all over the place too.
Yes, there are.
And if I remember right, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think I know of some Ortleys that are also pretty terrific wrestlers.
Yeah, there were some good wrestler Ortleys. There's Jamie and Jeremy. Jeremy played basketball, I think. Was a year younger than me.
And Jamie is Tyler's father.
There's.
Oh, Wildcats going to their bench. Justin Allen and Mason Alexander getting into the ball game. And Wildcats able to go to their bench a little bit, which you never know when.
Gosh, they deserve it after all this. This is good for them to get. This is a good time to start peaking,
Right. This is the time. One game at a time. Justin Allen's going to get a wide open 3. Oh, misses right off the side of the rim. But if they get him another one of those looks, I think it's gonna go in. Bonner's coming back the other way. Hiddle with the ball, gets deep into the paint. Atkins with terrific defense. Allen moving his feet on defense on Durrett. Durrett, physical move to get to the bucket. Graydon Nearing picks up his dribble. Durrett's going to pick up foul number 5 right there. And so Durrett's night will end with.
Bonner's bench isn't that deep. I mean, and I don't mean ability-wise. I mean guys. They're just there's a guy.
JV players. There's 2 JV players.
Looks like, is that Morgan that's hurt? Is Morgan hurt over there?
Morgan looks to be nursing something.
Yeah, he's holding
with
his knee.
Number 3, Hubbard, is a freshman. Graydon Neary misses the first free throw of the double bonus here.
Okay, come on, Squeaks. We got to get these to fall for all those other calls you didn't get. You got to get these in there, bud.
Right. Dallin Foster, a sophomore, has played huge minutes for the Badgers tonight. He's a JV player. So Bonner's not with a very deep roster as Squeaks goes 0 for 2 there. Hiddle with a little Harlem Globetrotter action. They don't call the travel. He misses the lay-in. Wildcats can't corral the rebound. Mason Alexander's going to pick up a foul, though. Alexander just needed to grab that rebound, and he was kind of, I don't want to say he was not aggressive, but he definitely looked the part of someone who hasn't been in the game.
Yeah, hasn't got his game legs underneath him. Still kind of feeling everything out, probably getting his breath.
And right now, where the rest of these Wildcats are wanting to get out and sprint, Alexander needs to kind of catch up. Free throw missed. Alexander can't get the rebound. Brandon Miller will get the rebound off the putback, though, and Hiddle will pick up a foul as Brandon Miller tries to dribble up the floor. That's going to be Hiddle's third. And the Badgers emptying their bench. They've got to wait.
Got to wait for the first shot.
Scorekeeper Chris Johnson getting a little ahead of himself with the buzzer there.
Well, Gwen is gone again. So,
Gwen,
you know,
he's all out of
Chris
sync.
is just hanging in there while Gwen's gone. He's doing an admirable job.
Where's Gwen?
Gwen is in Boise at a Skyward conference, getting smarter. I don't know if that's possible. She's a very smart lady indeed.
That's crazy to think about. So into the game, we've got Dylan Hines, a sophomore, Ethan Hubbard, a freshman, Dallin Foster, a sophomore, to go along with Hayden Stockton, a sophomore, and Caleb Peterson, a senior. So 3 sophomores, a freshman, and a senior for the Badgers right now.
The Badgers are licking their wounds right now. It's been a tough night in the second half, especially for them. So
Hubbard struggles to corral the pass. Alexander and Nearing trying to trap. They go back to Hubbard. Hubbard, I think, thought about pulling the trigger on that 3. Pops it back out to Hines. Hines moving the ball. Finds Foster. Foster playing big minutes this game. He might as well be a varsity player. Good shot there from Stockton. Rebound corralled by Atkins. Atkins once again gets up the floor just like lightning speed. Go inside to Mason Alexander. Alexander back out to
they're trying
Miller,
to get him the ball. They're trying to get him to go up with it, but he
won't.
was too unselfish. I'd like to see him go up and score, too, as would the entire student body that is in attendance tonight.
The student body. And Mason Alexander is one of the nicest kids you'll ever meet. And I'm not saying that just because his mom is my boss. Mason Alexander is one of the most genuinely nice boys at age 17 that you will meet.
And his mom's pretty nice, too.
His
so
mom's pretty
speaking
cool.
of lineage, his mom's pretty nice, and his dad's not a bad guy, right?
Not even a little bit.
They put up with him.
Yeah. You ask Carrie, there's a lot of fun history there. Ask Carrie Alexander how she feels about the Priest River Spartans next time you see her. And I think it's the PG version of what happens when you ask Jeff Lambert how he feels about the Priest River Spartans. Those two coming from the same class are very steeped in Kellogg Priest River rivalry lore. It's very funny to hear them talk about it. But I dare anyone listening to this broadcast, next time you see Carrie Alexander, just ask her how she feels about the Priest River Spartans. You will not be disappointed.
There it is, guys. There's the challenge.
And Hubbard gets 1 of 2 to go in from the free throw line. Brandon Miller fires a pass up to Graydon Nearing. Nearing's nice little bounce
You got to
pass.
shoot that, Mason.
And Mason Alexander not willing to shoot the ball. Graydon Nearing, that was...
Coach Nearing's getting into him there.
That was a wicked pass from Graydon Nearing. And Nearing's going to head to the bench. He played a heck of a ball game
Yes, he did.
Despite four offensive fouls. Well,
I think I had Nearing for 10 points. I mean, for having those, they took basically 6 to 8 points away from him because he made 3 of those.
3 of those buckets. Oh, and Dallin Foster, I believe, just ate either an elbow or a fist or a head from Justin Allen, or not just now, Justin Waller, and he looks like he's in pretty rough shape. Yeah, Waller holding the side of his face. Oh, goodness gracious.
We are just going to go to a plain screen there. We got the boys up there in the booth. They are quite interested. So we'll wait until we let this player get off the floor, and then we'll.
Hopefully he's all right.
Looks like he took a shot to the to the side of the head or the face. Yeah.
It's amazing not having Roger here. Roger Grovesner over the years would have been on that lickety split. making sure that Mr. Foster was okay.
That is a good poll, Josh. You're right. I wish Roger was watching. I think if he could get that YouTube figured out, somebody's got to get him the link down there, and I'm sure he would enjoy this.
I'm sure he would. I think they're cleaning up a little bit of blood off the floor. This Badger team is just beat up.
They are. It's been a rough night, and you know, the IML, it's anybody's game. There's really no standout except for if the Wildcats play like they do tonight. I've changed my mind.
Yeah, if the Wildcats take this performance to Timberlake, which I'm going to petition that maybe we make that trip up there. The potential rivalry between Kellogg and Timberlake over the years, it's really been funny because I know Priest River and Timberlake have the battle for the buck. But for the most part, I don't think that's ever been the true rivalry that, you know, a lot of these other teams have had. But I can remember when I was in high school, it was Kellogg and Bonners Ferry duking it out for after Lakeland left the league. It was Kellogg and Bonners Ferry duking it out for top dog in the IML.
I agree.
Then Bonners Ferry kind of stepped back, and it was Kellogg and St. Mary's for a couple years. And then St. Mary's dropped down to 2A, and then Priest River went on a run, and it was Kellogg and Priest River going at it, with St. Mary's kind of sprinkled in the mix there.
And Priest River had a couple state titles in there, at least one I know of.
One of each, one boy and one girl, same year.
Yep.
And then, you know, then the Timberlake had a resurgence with Keegan Scott, and that Timberlake team was golden until the Wildcats kind of began what can only be considered a bit of a reign of terror over the league, going 45 in a row against league opponents until this season. But the Wildcats are kind of capturing some of that magic back. Wildcats, Hubbard goes 1 for 2 from the line. Wildcats on top 62-40. Badgers not really giving up. I think Wildcats would be content just to dribble this clock out. Moving the ball around, taking their time. Miller has the ball, spins off his man, dribbles in. Doesn't see a pass that he likes. They go inside to Mason Alexander. Mason Alexander goes up. Oh!
Gosh, that was a nice move, Mason.
Misses with the right-handed hook. In transition, Stockton goes up, takes a little bit of contact, no good. And Miller and Waller can't communicate on the rebound. Badgers will get the ball back, but Wildcats doing a great job to move the ball around. And, you know, check me for saying this wrong earlier. I didn't think we were going to break 60.
Yeah.
And here the Wildcats are with a 22-point quarter.
Very impressive.
Hubbard gets in, blocked by Mason.
Return to sender. Oh, he's into it.
Oh, and Mason needed that. That was big for Mason. That was awesome. Not only did he get the block, but then Miller picked up the foul afterwards. And
I thought Mason was going to go shoot the free throw there. He's so excited.
Just going for it. He wants to do it. He doesn't care.
I'll take it.
That was a great defensive play from Mason to stand there. Hands straight up. Straight up. Jump straight up. Good play there. And these kind of game experiences are big.
Yeah, they are.
Whether anyone wants to believe it or not, when you empty your bench at the end of the game, you're expected to maintain. Like, regression is not what the coach wants to see. He wants to see, a lead maintained.
For sure. And we don't want garbage time. We want guys getting some good minutes.
And the Wildcats doing that right now with Allen and Alexander on the floor, playing very well, defensively especially. Bonner's just moving the ball around. Hubbard's going to try a spot of three. He's wide open. Can't get it. Peterson with the rebound over Allen. Just had good position there, making this a 42-63 ball game. Tyrell Davis pushing the ball ahead. And Stockton playing great defense on him. Waller gets through the key, fires a pass over to Justin Allen. It's tipped. Brandon Miller corrals it back. And, you know, we're seeing some of the...
I was going to say, this rotation of Cats right here are actually doing a pretty good job moving the ball around.
Yeah. Oh, great find from Miller. Wanting to get Allen a good shot here. Swinging the ball just wonderfully. Allen gets a deep three. Oh, can't hit it.
That was another one from Skid Row.
But a great find from Miller. Badgers try to... Nice from the volleyball line. And that's... Dylan Hiddle knocking down the big three to make the final score 63-45 in what was an incredibly action-packed, fast-paced game.
That was a fun one, Josh.
That was a fun game. I'm happy to see the Wildcats come on top. They are...
two-game Andrews Gym winning streak established.
Yeah, home winning streak, and they now move to 2-2 in league with games against Timberlake and Priest River remaining. Timberlake will be on the road, Priest River at home.
If you get those two, anything's possible for the district tournament.
If they get those two and Bonners shows out and maybe upsets Timberlake, we could finish the season with 3 teams tied at 4-2, and then it's a coin flip to see who hosts districts. Every game is important, and I'm pretty excited with what I saw from the Wildcats tonight, Simon.
I am too, and it's building upon what we saw against Wallace, and you can see sometimes confidence will do a lot for a team, and they weren't perfect tonight. They don't have to be. Playing with that defensive intensity and just having a good offense. It doesn't have to be great. It just has to be good, and then it feeds itself.
Maybe a few calls go Squeak's way. Not picking up.
Boy, talk about some bad player control luck.
Oh, my
I don't think
goodness.
I've seen somebody with that bad a player control luck.
And Squeaks hit every single basket that they called him up for a charge on. Every single time he went up, they called a charge, he made the basket.
Yep.
Good big win for the Wildcats. We could hear him celebrating.
Good to hear him
us.
having a good time, getting some confidence. Winning is fun.
Winning is a lot more fun.
It makes those practices a lot more bearable when the coach is pounding into you with the things he wants you to do.
So they're going to take a night off tomorrow night, but then they're right back here on Saturday for Brawl for the Ball. We will not be broadcasting that. IdahoSports.com will be broadcasting the varsity games. There still could be some Channel 3 broadcasts for some of the activities, though. Not entirely sure how we're going to do that, but, for Simon Miller, I'm Josh McDonald. We'll put out information on what's going on Saturday. Thanks for watching Channel 3, Silver Valley Sports Live.
Go Cats.